What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns doing yet another Discuss episode. And if you would like to partake in my Discuss series, if you got something that's worth discussing in a future installment, whether it's about Grand Theft Auto Online, gaming in general, or just about anything else, you can leave it below in the comment section, tweet it to me, Facebook message it to me, and you can always email me your Discuss ideas, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. Today's Discuss topic comes from Nawa. Discuss 2016. Do you ever think there will be an actual easy way to get people to play heists other than lobby shopping and hoping for people to join with mics? Thanks for the discussion topic, Nawa. So let's talk about heists. It's hard to believe that it's been nearly a year since we got heists finally added to Grand Theft Auto Online, especially after the long period of waiting for Heist to come out. Eventually it did, and I honestly believe it lived up to our expectations. In fact, I felt like that when they added Heist, it added a very important piece that was actually missing from Grand Theft Auto Online. So I still enjoy playing Heist, especially whenever I can actually get 3 other people to play with me, whether they are friends, viewers, or subscribers. And we always have a good time, and we make some fat stacks, even if I die a few times. It happens, okay? But I understand where you're coming from now when it comes to the issue of trying to find people to actually play with, especially randoms, because that can be one hell of a crapshoot. Sometimes you actually find a very reliable player. Most of the time, not so much. Alright, so let's talk about the easy ways to make heists more playable, enjoyable, and where you can actually do heists. The obvious thing is to make sure you have 3 other people that have good internet connection who actually want to play ice in order to earn those fat stacks and the bonuses like Criminal Mastermind and the other 2 that net you $1 million each, which is about what $12 million you could potentially earn in bonuses, maybe even a little more as well. So if you are looking for 1 or 2 or 3 other gamers to do heists with in Grand Theft Auto Online, I have a suggestion for all my viewers, fans, subscribers. How about you leave it below in the comment section? Say, hey, I'm on the PlayStation 4, I'm on the Xbox One, I'm on PC, and I'm looking for other peeps to play heists with. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find enough gamers that will allow you to actually go do heists on a regular basis, whether it's a Prison Break, Humane Labs, Series A funding, or the big one, Pacific Standard. Now, if one of those 3 new friends starts acting weird and asking for personal information, give their ass the boot. I realize that most of you just want to play Grand Theft Auto Online and do heists, but at the same time, you have to always be on guard when it comes to strangers that you're playing with. So do not give them anything about you other than your gamer tag. That's all they need to know about you. Don't tell them your age, don't tell them where you live, don't tell them any of that crap. For your own safety, don't do it. Now that I got that very important public service announcement out of the way, because I actually do care about you guys, my faithful viewers, subscribers, and fans, I want you to play safe when it comes to online gaming or real life situations as well. Now, back to heists. You obviously need 4 people to do heists, well, except for Fleeka Job. But all you really have to do is find 3 other friends, gamers. You may already know them already. You may already trust them. And play with them when it comes to heists, or you can join my crew, the Crow Club, and look for other gamers to play with as well. But despite how hard you try to find some peeps to do a heist with, you might come up short by 1 or 2 gamers, which means you have no choice but to go random lobby shopping. Now, one thing you want to do obviously is make sure that everybody playing has mics, or at the very least can hear the boss give the orders, so that you can coordinate your efforts and not fail or die over and over again, because people start to get ticked off when that transpires a few times. And another incentive to get people to play Heist with you, if you're the boss, is offer 20-25% cut for the Heist finales. That's more enticing for other gamers instead of 15%. Ask fellow gamers that are doing Heist with you what position they want to do in the finale, especially if it's a position they're more comfortable with. They may rather be up in the helicopter flying the Valkyrie or shooting the cannon than being down on the ground during the Humane Labs raid. So definitely ask your crewmates, your friends, those peeps you're doing a heist with, what their strengths are, what they're really good at in Grand Theft Auto Online, and what position they would like to do in the heist finale. Now, I do have one radical idea that would perhaps make heists easier when it comes to trying to find gamers to play with, because we've all had this issue. We find, two other people ready to go, but you cannot find a third one to save your life, so you can have 4 peeps, which is kind of required to do the heist. What if we had the option to actually hire one of the NPC characters that do heists in story mode, like Eddie Toe, for example, and you would automatically have to pay him, say, 20-25% for the finale, but Eddie Toe would serve as your 4th player in the heist, but he would automatically get the quote-unquote easy jobs. Chances are that idea is probably never going to happen, because that involves a lot of programming by Rockstar in order to A, have an NPC actually work with the other 3 players, B, automatically setting that NPC to do the quote-unquote easy job. It just might take way more work than Rockstar is willing to do in order to tweak Heist. Now, another thing I want to discuss regarding Heist is the future of Heist, because that's one of the big questions that a lot of gamers have had for nearly a year now. Is there going to be more Heists down the road? Now, as most of you know, it took Rockstar quite a while to finally build and deliver Heist. In fact, they had to scrap it a few times, according to an IGN interview I read about a year ago. So obviously there are some issues that would come up for Rockstar regarding creating even one new heist. Obviously it's going to take time to make and script out. You're going to have to create new cutscenes for the heist. You're going to have to perhaps bring back some of the voice actors, and you're going to have a payout that is perhaps equal or more than Pacific Standard. If you look at the heists that came out last year, they feel very open and shut. You have the beginning, which is Fleeca, then it wraps up with Pacific Standard. It feels like there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to that particular story arc, even though you can go back and replay it to your heart's content, as long as you can find 3 other gamers to play with, obviously. But even if Rockstar does not use Lester or Agent 14 or Trevor in future heists, because all those voice actors could be extremely busy working on other projects. But fortunately, we do have other characters that exist in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online that Rockstar could use in hypothetical future heists. Now, some heists I would love to see, I just got a few that I came up with, is an LSIA Lufthansa style heist, and that could be headed up by Martin Mendraza. Then you could have a car stealing heist, very similar to story mode. Molly Schultz could be your contact for that heist. Obviously, she's representing Devin Weston, but she never mentions him. She alludes to this very influential, powerful guy or man that she's working for, but you're not allowed to see him. You're not allowed to have contact with him. You just go in and do your job. You steal cars like the T-20, Osiris, Zentorno, Casco, Mamba, some of the other DLC vehicles as well. You got to get a rig. You got to get a trailer, perhaps even an assault vehicle to protect the convoy, like a technical or an insurgent pickup. And then the finale starts up in Paleto Bay and goes all the way down to the port of Los Santos. So those are the 2 big ideas I came up with. The Lufthansa-inspired heist at LSIA, the high-end cars heist that Molly would be the contact for. I did come up with a few off the top of my head. I didn't really flesh it out as much, but perhaps a maze bank heist, a casino heist, if they ever open the casino, and a museum heist, because there's a lot of precious items that happen to be in museums, and maybe there's some shady person out there that'd love to get his or her hands on some of those items in one of the museums around Los Santos, which means you and your teammates would have to do the setup missions leading to the museum, sneak into the museum, steal the pieces, and get the hell out of Dodge in order to get paid. While it's quite possible that Rockstar may never come out with a Heist 2.0 update, I would love it if they did. It's still fun to imagine the possibilities when it comes to heists. So if you have any ideas for a heist, let me know below in the comments section. And of course, as I mentioned, if you have any discussed topics for future episodes, you can leave that below in the comments section. You can tweet it my way, you can message me via the Facebook page, and as always, you can email me your discussed topic to GeauxBurns@gmail.com.